Welcome to Fargo Talks Fargo, a podcast on the FX television series. I'm Bill, and I'm here with my always trusty pal, Sharpie. How are you?
I'm trusty. I like that.
I don't know, man. You're a steadfast kind of guy. I mean, you're no Roy, but
yeah,
I'll take it. I have almost no words. I don't know how to describe to you the sheer amounts of like, I wish I could have paused. I wished I could have.
Yeah.
And that's not my ability to. This episode just jacked me up in all sorts of ways. But you and I have not spoken. We just went online and here we are recording. And you sort of hinted at like, I don't know. What are we going to talk about? And I'm dying inside.
Okay. Yeah, but you're right. Live TV is definitely a change of pace. It sure does suck. We're so spoiled.
If we didn't do this, if we didn't do the Hotdish, I wouldn't care. Okay, let's be concise here.
Okay.
Give me your quick hot take. Like, what is your hottest take from the show? Like, highs, lows. What do you got?
Okay, so welcome to the Hotdish. So this is our hot take after the episode that airs. So if you're new to the show, we've got a full-length one coming up later on in the week.
Not tomorrow,
maybe the next day, or maybe the day after that. We don't know. Favorite parts of the show? Well, I love that we're learning more and more about Dot's past, kind of a little bit with hints. You know, she's a little bit, she knows her guns. So, and you could say, well, maybe that's because she used to hang out with Roy Tillman. They're a bunch of gun freaks, but you know, we know she's not from Fargo or Minnesota or North Dakota, or we can assume, because what we do know is her accent is fake. So, where does all this gun knowledge come from? I don't know. But my favorite part of the whole show had to be following Ole Munch. I mean,
you mean Bryn?
Ole Munch? Ole? Yeah.
No, Bryn / Ole / I can actually shine a little light on that. I sang in a wedding for a friend of mine who married a Norwegian gentleman whose name is spelled Ole. He's from Norway, and yes, he does. Like when I see him, it's been quite a while. It's Ule, like Ula, like Ole Ule. That's why.
Really good,
he's talking about how Gator brought it up. Ule.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really was following this. Like the minute it went 15:22 Wales, I shit a brick. What did you think?
What did you just say?
The scene that cut to 500 years ago, 1522 in Wales.
I thought you were giving me like a timestamp or something.
Sorry, that is kind of my trademark, isn't it?
Yeah, that was awesome. I think I was onto a little bit of something earlier in this season when I mentioned the movie The Witch, which I now recommend you watch, because I had said that Ula reminded me of the movie Witch, which is just a masterpiece. Every scene, every shot in that movie is just pure gold. It looks like a masterpiece painting, every single frame. And that's kind of what Ole reminds me of. And then it goes all the way to the max here with, like, what was that, a goat he was sacrificing? Or Bryn, I should say.
Well, yeah, because I turned closed captioning on from the front of this flat out. So
I couldn't even do it. I was watching on the FX app, and they didn't allow me to do closed caption. I don't know why.
Okay. Well, I'm going to save a couple of fun nuggets. We've had some great email. I had some exchanges today that you have not seen because I'm the one who gets the emails. And I also had some email problems. But so shout out to some of you folks who've emailed us, podcast at Fargo Talks Fargo. If you want to get in your business before the full breakdown that we won't record tomorrow, probably Thursday, get it in there. But when I saw what was happening, I was like, I know what this is. That's why I was like, fuck me up, man. That's a sin eater, Sharpie. That is full-blown crazy paganism meets Christianity. So if you, and I for whatever it's worth, I was a religious theology major for a while in my life.
Cheater.
So I'm just like, oh no, this is one of the weirdest things ever. It's So do you know what a sin eater is? And I'm not going to go long con on this just yet.
I'm a sin eater, big work hard, big cake, sacrifice a goat today. Come on, sin eater.
Were you just singing Man Eater by like Hall & Oates?
Yeah, that's right.
Too bad those two are fighting right now, right? Okay. Real talk. Christianity had this issue of like, what do you do if somebody dies in old school Christianity? So I guess I mostly mean like Catholic faith. You know, there's purgatory. We've all heard of purgatory. But what happens if you die before you're able to atone? And you might have been a bad person. Well, a sin eater is somebody, I'm not going to get into the history. That bowl is bread and sometimes beer or wine. And so you put it on somebody who's either dying or has just died. And they eat it. And they say, I'm here. I am taking away their sin. I'm going to eat the sin so that they can go to heaven. I'm pointing upward because that's where it supposedly is. And they do that. And these are like people in society who are outcast. And that's their job, is to eat sins. And so these other people who weren't actually good get to go. And the whole atonement is that they get paid, they get compensated for this, that I'm taking away your sin. And if you think about this as Bryn /Oli / some sort of backstory, holy crap, that's why he has this. I know the wage, I know the cost of a job, right? Eating sins is expensive because you're in a million ways, because you're outcast, you're nothing, you're nobody. And then Bryn, like Bryn Mawr means in Welsh is like large hill, like Bryn is hill. And you notice he was in that kind of hilly cave. But I don't know, man. I don't want to go deep on that. Feel free to get ready for me to go full bonkers stupid.
That is why I drink a lot of beer and I eat a lot of carbs. It's for you guys.
You're atoning.
Mm-hmm. I am ridding you of your sins. So you're welcome. I'm going to go eat some pasta.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just lots of great stuff in this episode. I mean, but I'm with you on the whole, like, man, Dot knows her shit. Did you think that there was a connection to her being with Roy? And we've obviously learned that Roy does a little bit of gun running and munitions things.
Mm-hmm. Lots of, seized weapons are going missing and they're catching on.
Yeah, shocker. But did you catch that Roy, they're like, yeah, we got to get this going. We got to take our country back. And Roy kind of is like, is what he says.
Yeah, that actually surprised me. And that was actually a little bit of a relief, kind of, because, it's John Hammond. I want to love him. And he's playing this bad guy. But when his like father-in-law or father, whomever that was, talking about 1776, and he just kind of rolls his eyes. That was kind of interesting. I liked that.
Of course, he's involved and he speaks the rhetoric, but in it, he's not really in it for the politics or the stuff. He's in it to enrich himself. Sound familiar? For somebody who speaks a lot of rhetoric in our current situation, feeds into the take our country back gun nuts, but in the end, he's kind of like, I want to go upstairs and smoke a J.
Yeah, does a lot of drugs, has a lot of like personal kinks, but on the outside, he's born and bred Christian, good all-American family man.
Right. Lots of really great religious references all the way up from the first song of the episode. 16 tons, St. Peter, don't you call me. We've got about Nadine. Did you know the song Nadine that Roy sang to Dot? That's Nadine. It's a famous Chuck Berry song. I was supposed to say it's a famous Johnny B. Good song. I don't know. I'm also having a weird moment. What do you think about the fact that how young was Dot when she married Roy? And a little moment of just like maybe like borderline teenage pride.
Maybe. I was going to put her at about 23.
Yeah, but and then how old is his current wife? And whose kid is Gator? Because I don't know.
I thought when we saw them sitting at the long table in the field, I assumed that was maybe Gator's fiance or wife or something, and maybe that was their twins. But turns out that's not the case. Or maybe they share. They're kinky.
Nice payoff to your great breakdown on the last episode of the Nightmare Before Christmas scene. Getting the masks, all the right characters, all the right things. Finally know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted Whit to stand up for himself a little more, but he kind of Gus Grimley'd us, didn't he?
Yeah, but he'll come back.
Well, maybe his armpits hurt from that crutch.
That's true. That can wear you out. You got sore pits, man. There's not a lot you can do.
I just also like the very Fargo, what's in the box? Slim Jim wrapper. We know that Gator has a very serious penchant for highly processed meats.
Do you eat Slim Jims?
Yes. Okay, this is highly relevant because I was just at Fargo Brewing tonight for a fantastic beer dinner and pairing with the restaurant.
And they serve Slim Jims?
No, but I had a whole conversation. There was Taylor ham at it. So, of course, we got into a Vienna sausage. I love me some processed meats. I take years off my life over and over and over again for processed meat.
I like the Dot's family. That Dot had a brilliant idea of being the zombie killers for Halloween so that they could get all armored up. But then it was a little tough to tell if they were zombie killers or were they J6 Stampeders.
I thought it was a nice play into Lorraine saying she's a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's a Halloween costume, but turns out it's not. It's just she's gonna mess you up. Was real other quick question for you, because I know you're a pretty good viewer of like cinematography and film. At first I was like, is Roy going full Mystic on the electric lettuce, or was it just a really fun, Lebowski-esque, like he's out there, right? Like Lebowski when they do the Busby Berkeley thing. What did you make of that whole staring at the ceiling? I don't want to play the lonely hitchhiker or whatever game it was she wanted to play. He just wants to smoke his J and stare off into the distance.
I mean, maybe a little bit of the devil's lettuce was involved, but, I think they are connected. People, when they get on that, when they have a history, they can share that same wavelength, and they're probably connected in some way through this universe, because she felt it too at the dinner table. So, you can have that feeling that somebody's, if somebody's staring at the backside of your head, you can kind of feel it. And this is just the same thing. Yeah, that's true. We're sort of transcending a certain amount of things, this like otherworldly. Yep.
Yeah. I think though you're still onto, just to make sure I come back full circle to your witch reference. That was what did Scotty want? Was telling Wayne they wanted to be like bear witches or witches who became.
Yeah, he wasn't sure what it was. Was it witches who study? Was it bears who are like Wiccan, or is it bears who are witches?
Yeah, so it's one of those. I thought that was another version of he just wants to go with the flow and be happy, even though he doesn't understand it. He was fully on board with whatever Scotty wanted to do, and then Dot kind of brings it back to what she needs. But gosh.
All right.
Well, I think we can send us your biggest thoughts. I don't know. I think there's going to be a healthy dose of holy shit, what the hell? We'll get through it, but give us your biggest fun thoughts. podcast@fargotalksfargo.com. We'll answer if we can. Shout out to some of y'all. Well, we'll talk about you guys at the front end of the next episode. A couple of you, I think, had some great things that we talked about. So
we'll see you in a couple days.
Let's go rewatch this thing right now.
All right.
Enjoy your hot dish.